Good evening, Black people and all allies fighting for Black liberation, Black prosperity, and Black joy. I'm Charles Blow, and welcome to Prime. Inflation has surged to the highest level since 1982, according to new data from the Labor Department. Consumer prices climbed 6.8% in November from the prior year as pandemic-era demand jumped and supply chains struggled with bottlenecks. Price tags went up across almost every sector, but the cost of gasoline, food, vehicles, and shelter largely contributed to the hike, with gasoline prices alone soaring 58% this year. Rent was up 0.4% more expensive than last month, and that strained household budgets. Housing costs increased 3.8% overall in 2021, and the highest since 2007 when the housing crisis accelerated. Federal Reserve officials credited the inflation jump to the pandemic's continued effects on the economy. In recent weeks, Fed policymakers have had to abandon their messaging that inflation was limited and temporary and focus instead on solutions to blunt price increases. The president, for his part, today highlighted his social spending bill as a tool to decrease inflation at a summit with world leaders.
Most of the economists are saying this Build Back Better bill is not going to increase inflation, it will diminish inflation. It has a negative impact on inflation, it doesn't raise inflation. But that's hard for people to think about right now because inflation is up and there's a direct correlation in most people's mind. Well, why is inflation? Well, government's spending money. Well, that's not the reason for the inflation.
Joining me now to discuss is Makada Henry-Nickie, Fellow in Governance Studies at the Brookings Institution, and Anthony Chan, former Chief Economist for JPMorgan Chase. Ms. Henry-Nickie, what do you make of what the Federal Reserve is now having to do to try to change this narrative around whether or not this was a transitory bump, or now looks like the focus is that this is something that they have to deal with? It is not transitory unless they do take an action to curb it?
Yeah, so it hasn't been transitory for some time. It's good to hear Chairman Powell begin to reconcile with the kinds of pain that people are feeling in their pocketbooks. I think it's important to kind of pull back and note at this 40-year high, what are the key drivers and why the Federal Reserve has to respond sooner than we had all hoped. You did note at the top of the hour that it's auto prices. We're seeing new cars, used cars, again, drive inflation, food and energy. But what's really concerning is seeing rent start to tick up, both in the home purchase market as well as in the rental market. And we're not paying attention to this part just yet, but medical expenses too. Both of these categories are particularly concerning, right? Especially as we're seeing evictions begin to sort of show up in the courts, rising through the system. Higher rental challenge people's housing insecurity for millions of families. So these parts, it's hard to keep one rhetoric going, and people are feeling just pain in places where they're not able to cut back spending at the pump, at the supermarket. Right. And I mean, part of this is, sticker shock for millennials, and we're not able to unlock supply chains with monetary policy tools. So the Fed really has to step in to start to respond and bring the temperature down some.
Mr. Chan, I want to just stay on the housing costs for a little bit. We saw a 0.4% increase from October for rent rates. There's a modest increase in shelter costs. I think was in the single digits. But explain to us why that, even though they may seem lower relative to some of the other sticker costs like gas prices, why that is such a much bigger deal for the economy than some of the other kind of things that fluctuate more on a daily, weekly basis.
Well, essentially, you have people that are at the lower end of the income stream. I grew up in lower income housing projects, and no, housing is important. And today you see a lot of people struggling to maintain a place to live. A lot of people are spending more than 50% of their money on rent and housing expenses. And you have to keep in mind that housing prices are rising close to 20% on a year-over-year basis. If you look at Case-Shiller Index, which is the most accurate measure of housing prices. So the fact that shelter prices are rising by 3.8%, or rent price, as you correctly pointed out, is basically understating what's likely to happen. So that makes me worried. It also makes me worried that food prices, which are about 14% of the consumer price index basket, are rising so rapidly, because that certainly puts a lot of pressure on individuals that are least able to afford it. So there are a lot of price pressures, but you got to remember that there are several components as to why we have so much inflation. During the pandemic, we basically shut down the overall economy, and we threw almost $10 trillion into the economy, whether it be stimulus or whether it be the Federal Reserve in the form of quantitative easing. I was a former economist at the New York Federal Reserve, and I know they worry about inflation. But in this kind of an environment, there was very little they can do. They were just trying to stimulate the overall economy with quantitative easing and all this fiscal policy, and very little production. And this is not something that you can blame the United States or blame Europe. It's all over the world. You look all over the world and you see inflation rising, whether it's in Europe.
Right.
Argentina has inflation rates that are 52%
Right.
year over year. This inflation is all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, Ms. Henry-Nickie, I want to just have you step back and help us put some things in context, right? So there are these cross currents that are very hard to understand if you're not kind of an economist. Unemployment claims are at their lowest pace since 1969, and gross pay has increased by 4.8% over the past year as well. How do we put all of that into context where it looks like, you know, everybody who wants a job can get one and the pay for those jobs is going up, and yet there's all this pressure around inflation?
Yeah, so this economy, sometimes I wonder if it's behaving like my teenage daughter, sending a ton of mixed signals. On the one hand, you do point to this low unemployment. We're bouncing back. This time last year, we were near 7%, and jobless claims are, you know, at a 52 year low. Sorry, excuse me. And that says, you know, listen, employers are doing all the work that they need to put in and hold on to their staffers, hold on to their current workforce, as opposed to laying people off in the midst of, our peak hiring season. And of course, wages are up. But I think it's important to sort of pull the curtain back and ask, how is the economy generating such a positive story? And that's where, you know, rubber hits the road and things look a lot less glossier and also just less rosy. And that's part of this sort of cross current you're referring to. We added about 210,000 jobs last month, but most of those jobs went to men. Just about 3 out of 4 jobs, 74% of them went to men. Just 36% of these jobs went to women, and sort of pulling women, who's coming back into the workforce, who's best positioned to take advantage of this new job creation. And so it turns out it's just two groups here. White women, 124,000 of them showed up, and Hispanic women, another hard-hit group by the pandemic, 127,000. But a really disappointing and concerning story, 91,000 Black women left the labor force. And just, again, we are in the midst of an incredibly tight labor market. That's more jobs than workers, and looking at the kinds of extraordinary bonuses and packages that employers are putting out the door, pushing wages up. You know, we need to kind of figure out what is keeping these women out of the labor force and in fact causing them to drop out. We know that childcare is an incredible obstacle for working women, even more so for those lower down on the the wage spectrum, both in terms of cost and also availability. We've lost childcare centers. One thing I want to add here before I close out is the quality of jobs that are on the street. Are those jobs the kinds of jobs that will provide the wages that women need? Do they come with benefits for sick leave, for COVID protocols? And, you know, just helping them to protect themselves and kind of gain ground. So mixed signals, but I think the big takeaway here is that the wages are rising, but not enough to help Black women in particular overcome these challenges.
Mr. Chan, a recent Gallup survey found that 71% of households making less than $40,000 a year are experiencing financial hardships due to inflation, with 28% of those reporting severe hardship. But Biden also wrote in a statement today, Americans have more money in their pockets than this time last year, $100 more each month than last year, even after accounting for price increases. How do we make that make sense when people feel like they don't have as much money, But, you know, as Biden is pointing out, the data suggests that they have more money than they've had. Is there a psychological disconnect that inflation is having on the population, or is this a very real thing? Even with the extra money, it's still not enough to keep up with the rising prices.
I think Ms. Nickie's spot on. Right now, there is real pain in the inner cities, as you might imagine. Even having an extra $100 in your pocketbook when you see that used car prices and car prices are going up double digit, more than in some cases more than 50%. Gasoline prices are going up 58% on a year-over-year basis. An extra $100 is not going to really help all that much. We did get the latest statistics from the Federal Reserve that household net wealth is now at the highest level it's ever been in the history of the United States, and that's very impressive. But again, those numbers are skewed towards the upper income individuals, and the people that have economic hardship are still struggling significantly. And yes, people are coming back to work, and with wages rising at 4.8% and inflation rising by more than 6%, you can clearly see that disconnect, that even if you have more money, the fact is inflation is rising faster than wages. Now, there are some sectors like the leisure and hospitality where you're seeing impressive wage growth. But when you look at all the wage growth out there, it is not enough for the average person out there, especially in the inner cities where many of us grew up, to be able to struggle and be able to survive.
Makada Henry-Nickie and Anthony Chan, thank you both so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it.